Hello and welcome to the Duel Monsters Unlimited video tutorial part 2. This video will show you all the basic dueling commands you'll need to know to play Duel Monsters Unlimited. If you haven't already checked out part 1, now's the time to do so. But if you have, then you're all set. So after you've made your deck and you want to duel, simply ask for duel in World Say. Once you've found an opponent, you stand 5 spaces away from him. This can be done vertically or horizontally, it does not matter. Look on the bottom right of your screen for Activate Duel List. Click it, and your deck will load. And of course, if you have more than one deck, you're able to select. Now, looking on the bottom left of your screen, you'll see your duel disc appear. And if it does not appear, that means you do not have a disc selected, which you need to do so under the Options menu. To draw a card from your deck, you simply click your deck, and it will ask you if you want to draw your opening hand, which you do. To draw cards after that, you simply click on the deck and it will draw one card every time you click it. Next to your deck is your life points button. Now this is different on every disc, so if you're having trouble finding it, a good way to find it is to look on the bottom left of your screen, and if you can see, it says change life points, and if you just hover your mouse over parts of your disc, it changes, as you can see. So if you're having trouble finding it, simply hover over your disc until you find what you're looking for on your disc. And to change life points, you simply click it. You can add or subtract. Same thing with dividing, you would simply hit /2, and with multiplying. Above your life points button is your View Opponent's Graveyard button. You simply click this to view your opponent's graveyard. Below your life points button would be your end duel button. Again, different on every disc, but if you're having trouble finding it, just look to the bottom left. So you click this and it would ask you if you want to end your duel. Above the graveyard button would be the monster zones. This is used if you need to block off monster zone. You simply click the one you want to block, and it will ask you to block it. Same thing with unblocking it, just click it again, and it will unblock it. Now over to your hand tab, you can view your hand with the hand tab here, or you can view your hand in the middle of your screen right here. However, most people choose to use the hand tab, it's just much easier. To play cards from your hand, you simply click them. To summon monsters, you would simply hit normal summon. With setting, you would simply hit normal summon set. Pretty self-explanatory. Same with setting cards. And to attack, you simply click the monster you wish to attack with. Hit attack, and a list of attack targets will show up. Of course, my opponent has no monsters right now, but I can attack him directly, and it will show up right there. To view a card also, you just click on the card and it's the top option, and the card's effect will show up. You can also move the card pretty much anywhere once it's on the field. You can send it to your grave, your hand, remove it from play, turn it to your deck, release it, change the owner, whatever. It's also important to note, if you're forced to return a card to the top of your deck, you would not use the return to deck function. You would go down to extra functions. So a lot of people just hit return to deck when they actually have to return the card to the top of the deck. So it's important to remember this when you have to return a card to the top of your deck. It's under extra functions, send to top of deck. Okay, pretty easy. And next to your hand tab is your extra deck tab. This lists all your synchros and fusions, so if you had the correct synchro material for a synchro summon, you simply click the card and summon it to the field. To the left of that is the side deck tab. It's important to note you can only side deck after game 1, so keep that in mind. And to add cards to your main deck, you simply click the card you wish to add, move to main deck. Same with deck. You want to side out a card, you click the card you wish to side out, move to side deck. And your deck tab is really easy to use as well. You simply move the card. You can move it pretty much anywhere. If you have to send it from your hand, your graveyard, to the field, or wherever, it's really easy. To the left of your deck tab is your duel status tab. This lists all the duel's information. Yours will always be on top. Your opponent's will always be on the bottom. It starts with name, life points, deck name, number of cards in hand, number of cards in deck, number of cards in extra deck, number of cards removed from play, number of cards in graveyard. Again, same with your opponent's information, it's just below yours. Next to that is tag duels, more on this in part 3. Commands is the exact same in part 1. The Remove from Play tab will show all the cards that are currently removed from the game. So we would list it right here. And you can also see it below your character right here. And to view your opponent's RFG zone, you simply click this. Of course my opponent has none, but that would be what you would use to view it. And next to that is the graveyard. Once you're done with the card, you obviously send it to the graveyard, and it will show up here. That's about it for the tabs. Now up to the commands under Tools. The first one is Activate Speed World. More on this on part 3. Below that is the Rock, Paper, Scissors. This can be used to decide who goes first. Make tokens. This is used for making tokens. It's important to remember though, you must have the card that's summoning the tokens on the field when you go to use this, or else the game won't know what kind of tokens to make. So keep that in mind. Below that is Make a Counter. This is useful if you have to keep track of turns for a card like Crush Card Virus. Below that is Flip Coin and Roll Dice. These are also used for deciding who goes first, and some card effects require you to use them as well. But most people use Roll Dice, so yeah. Show Attack shows the current attack of all the monsters on the field. Same with levels. Shuffle Cards shuffles all cards on the field. Spell traps or monsters. And below that is Surrender Quit, which will obviously end the duel. To the right of that is the Hand tab. If you are forced to reveal your hand for a card effect like Trap Dust Shoot, you use this. Below that is Random Select. If you are forced to randomly discard a card from your hand, you would use this. Send Cards from Hand is useful for card effects like Morphing Jar that require you to send your entire hand to the graveyard. To the right of the Hand tab is the RFG tab. You can simply send your cards from your Remove from Play zone to pretty much anywhere. To the right of that is the Deck tab. Pickup card is useful if you're under the effect of Crush Card Virus and you have to reveal your draws. You would use this. Show Last Cards. This is useful if you accidentally drew too many cards during your turn and you need to show your opponent the last card you drew. You would type how many you want to show, and it would show the last card that you drew, so your opponent knows what card you're supposed to return. Same thing with View, Show, and Arrange. They work exactly the same as Send Cards from deck. And Reverse Deck simply reverses the order of your deck. Random Select selects a random card from your deck. Choose 3 Equips will choose 3 random equip spells from your deck. This is used exclusively for Power Tool Dragon's effect though. To the right of that is the Graveyard tab. You can switch your deck with your graveyard or select a random card from your graveyard. Same with Extra Deck. The help file is useful if you do not know what a Synchro Summon or a Dark Synchro Summon is. You simply click it and a brief help file will come up. And that's about it as far as the commands go. The last thing would be the phases. You simply click this little circle right here and this will list all of your phases. Most people, however, do not use these phases since it's just kind of tedious to go through them. However, you will be using your end phase, so when you're done with your turn, simply click end phase, and it will display your end phase message right here. So that's pretty much it as far as duel commands go. Part 3 will cover speed and tag duels, so until then.